nonprofit organizations around the world inspire people every day to make a change in their community. Welcome to Celebrate Michigan, the show produced on the campus of Medina University. I'm Chris Benson.
And I'm Dennis Newbacher. With us today, we have Matt Collins. He's the president of the Livonia Lions Club, and he's a relative of Tom Collins, right?
Oh, no.
I'm the parent of Tom Collins, the furry beast.
Welcome to Celebrate
Thank
Michigan.
you very much. It's a pleasure to be here
Nice to have
today
you here.
to share information and understanding about Lions Club with you, and appreciate the
It's a
opportunity.
fantastic organization.
Yeah.
Worldwide?
Yes, we have 1.44 million members,
Wow.
207 countries, 50,000 clubs around approximately, and we are just celebrating our 100th anniversary of Lionism this year.
So,
Oh,
so
wow.
if you travel, you can travel and meet the people from the clubs that you go to. So you go to Greece, you go to Italy, go someplace like that.
Sure.
Hey, there's a Lions Club you can you'll be a guest of.
You are always welcome to stop in and visit other Lions clubs, no matter where
Wow.
they are.
What a great
Now,
way
it's
to
hard to believe with a 100-year history and as prolific. I mean, the symbol, hardly anybody can say they haven't seen it. But
Right.
for those who may not be as familiar with what the goal is of the organization, what is Lionism? What's it all about?
Well, Lionism basically is a service organization, community service. Our motto is we serve. We are here to help those in need in our community, in our state, and in our country, as well as internationally. I'm a member of the Livonia Lions Club, and we do a lot in the Livonia community, serving those in need.
Does every community have a Lions Club?
Most do.
Yeah.
Certainly, if they don't, another Lions Club in the vicinity would support that community.
Right, right. The lion. What's the idea behind the lion itself as the
Well, it was started in 1917,
Okay.
Lions Club, by a gentleman by the name of Melvin Jones, and he was an insurance salesman in Chicago. And he talked to his associates, his businessmen, and said, we need to give back to the community because they're earning revenue from the community, need to give back to the community. So they formed the first Lions Club. Lion is a symbol of serving those in need in their community.
Fantastic.
And over a number of years, Lions Club spread. It started in 1917. By 1921, it was in the Detroit area.
Wow.
Had a Lions Club serving Detroit. And not too long after that, 1921-ish, the Lions Club was meeting in Windsor. And they talked to some Windsor folks and got a Lions Club started in Windsor. And that was when Lions Club became international.
Yeah.
And in 1925, Lions Club was holding their convention at, of all places, Cedar Point
Oh, that would have been
in
fun.
Sandusky, Ohio. And
Cedar Point's that old? I didn't realize that.
their guest speaker was Helen Keller.
I'll be
Oh,
darned.
my gosh.
And during her keynote address, she challenged the Lions to become the Knights of the Blind. And that's where Lions Club really got their first focus.
That was my next question.
Helping-
How did this happen?
Helping the
Now I
Lions,
understand.
helping those that are blind and visually impaired.
Just think how many you've helped over the years. I am amazed how involved the Lions Club has been in this endeavor.
Sure. And it's grown. So we got our first focus in 1925, and over the years we've added helping the deaf and hard of hearing, helping special needs children, helping the community at large, and more recently they've even started to focus now on diabetes and helping to overcome diabetes.
Yeah, guys like me getting up there in the age, watch out for something like that. It's nice to have somebody supporting you, helping you out in that way.
Absolutely.
You got to get money to do that, though. How do you go about that?
We have a variety of fundraisers that
how's it happen?
we utilize, and every club is different. Everybody has their own ideas about raising funds, but it's basically a chance to raise the funds to do the work that we do and help those in need. Locally here in Livonia, we would do White Cane Week, where we would collect donations during White Cane Week.
Where you're at the intersections, right?
Not in Livonia, but
some
we're at
communities
the
will allow that.
storefronts.
Yeah,
storefronts.
I just worry a little bit, but they're standing in the middle of the intersection. They might be run over, but the endeavor, the idea, is so noble. It's so important.
Sure. We obviously welcome donations.
Sure.
And 100% of the money we raise, we return to the community.
I think that's a key. Has it always been that? Has it always been the stance of the Lions?
That's huge. That's huge.
So there's nobody administering it that's being paid to administer.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, for members, we have a general fund, and it's just to cover member expenses, but it's separate from our activity account. So.
Yeah.
And you mentioned Helen. My gosh, when you have Helen Keller as a speaker, how do you top that? But I'm sure there's been notable Lions throughout the year as part of the organization. I mean, that's an amazing history to go from.
Well, there certainly have. Denny McLean, I think.
Oh,
if you,
wow. A Michigan favorite.
Sorry, Mickey Lolich.
Yes,
Mickey Lolich.
yes.
Mickey Lolich is a Lion.
Who's up now for the Hall of Fame, I think, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. So,
Wow.
How about any presidents, congressmen, people like that? Kind of people along the way?
I'm going to think...
I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah,
sorry.
you are, the peanut farmer.
Oh, Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy Carter, I
Lion.
believe, was
Okay.
affiliated with
fabulous
Lions Club.
individual.
I'm sure others were too, but I don't,
Sure.
don't
So
focus too
spread
much on
from
that.
the 1900s and
1917,
today.
yep.
And
Almost 100
still
years old.
strong
Yeah.
as a national
Actually,
organization.
we recently opened up China.
Oh my gosh.
The Chinese government felt that Lions Club is non-threatening. They valued what we do, what we serve,
Wow.
and they allowed us to open up clubs in China.
I
So
think that's
we're
quite a
actually,
compliment, isn't
Yeah.
it?
we're actually adding 10,000 members a month
Wow.
from
Oh my
China
gosh.
into Lions Club.
Won't
right
that be
now.
a
So,
place to travel to and see a Lions Club
I'm sure there will be an
Yeah.
international convention there at some point.
Right.
Sure.
Where has the international convention been for the Lions Club over the years? Where have you gone?
It switches every year. For the 100th anniversary year, it was at Chicago.
Oh.
They had more than 32,000 Lions
my
from
gosh.
all over the world.
Did you go?
I actually did. I took my wife. We had a great time.
Yeah.
It was probably most inspiring was the fact that you're seeing Lions from all over the world.
Sure.
3,000 from China, marching in the parade.
Yeah. You're networking with them too.
Absolutely,
Ideas,
yeah,
coming up with
absolutely.
ideas maybe for future
Sure,
fundraisers
sure,
and possibilities.
absolutely.
It's not a bad idea.
Keynote speakers,
Sure.
just a great time, great opportunity to meet other Lions and share the experience that they have.
Sure.
It's for the many Lions, it's an expensive endeavor,
Oh,
but
Sure.
wow,
Yeah.
it really is
Well,
terrific.
there's so
Talk
much
about that
more.
when we get
Yeah,
back.
there's so
Yeah.
much more to talk
Yeah.
about. But we are going to take a short break,
Right.
and when we come back, we'll hear more from Matt Collins of the Lions.
Please stay tuned.
Welcome home, man.
Yes, ready.
Oh, come on, Randy. Animal shelter, here I come. And no, I'm not crazy or emotionally damaged. That's a stereotype. I just belong to a total loser. I'm a good dog. So if you want a pet, adopt. And if you see Randy, tell him he dropped his wallet.
When life's this hard, it's no wonder 7,000 students drop out every school day. Visit boostup.org and help kids in your community stay in school.
Chris Benson.
And I'm Dennis Newbacher. Joining us again on this edition of Celebrate Michigan is the president of the Livonia Lions Club, Matt Collins. It's a nonprofit organization in Livonia, and they're all over the world, as you talked about in the first segment. But you said something at the end of the first segment I had to go back to. It says it could cost something to the Lions members. Explain what that means. How much, or what is it? How many? Are there out-of-pocket expenses involved to be a member? Dues or whatever?
Well, for us, we have an annual dues that every member pays. It's nominal. And
when you say nominal, what is it? Just
well, every club is different. Ours is like $75.
Oh, jeez.
It basically costs.
I'm thinking you're going to say hundreds of dollars here.
It provides you with a couple of magazines from the international and the state, and
$75
a few
is
dollars
nothing.
into the general account.
Yeah.
We're much like we're a shoestring kind of operation, so we try to whatever money we get, we try and stretch as much as possible, get the most bang for the buck, do as much as we can with what we have.
So if I wanted to become part, if I wanted to become part of the Lions, do I have to live in Livonia? You mentioned you're in Livonia. Like, how do I? What happens? What would?
Well, for us, if you live or work in Livonia, and by the way, you qualify.
I do. I do live. I do work in Livonia. So
what I would like to do is invite you to come to a Lions Club meeting and meet some of the Lions and learn about what we do.
When do you meet?
Well, we meet a couple of times a month. We have a lunch program. We have a dinner program. And those are open to the public. And
you go to different organizations in the community to eat? I mean, would you go to the Senate one time and you go, well, I mean, that's what some organizations do, don't they? Kiwanians and people, they go to different organizations to support the city.
That's right. Yeah. We have a Zukin's Rib Shack.
I've heard that it's pretty amazing.
Call us when you're going there, man.
I've heard it's amazing.
We also go meet at Mamma Mia's.
Awesome.
In Livonia.
Okay.
And we have a program event. So we bring in a guest speaker and provide education and awareness and information to those that attend.
This is it seems to be an easy sell. But my guess is, and we date ourselves by saying this, we're older now, things are happening in these organizations. It's harder, apparently, for some organizations to attract some of the younger people. How are you confronting that change that's going on in our society? Well, volunteer fire departments are having trouble finding volunteer firefighters. So what's going on? How are you doing this?
It's a great question, and for the last 10 years, we've been reaching out to the community. It is not enough to be a Lions Club serving Livonia unless everybody in Livonia is aware of it.
That's a great way of saying it.
And that really is. And we do whatever we can. This is another opportunity to reach out to the community, make them aware of who we are, what we do. And volunteers are out there. You just have to reach them. And volunteers today, very busy. Husband and wife, both working, kids. Myself, I was a Ditka family, dual income, 3 kids. So
and a cat named Tom.
But you can still give some time to serve your community, whether you do it as a Lion or any of the other amazing community service organizations.
Well, that's you sold me on the idea. But the Kiwanians did the same thing the other day, and the Rotarians did the other day. Can you be a member of an organization? The Lions, and also a Rotary member, and also a Kiwanian, and also a JC. I mean, you'd be busy. You would never go home, but can they do that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there's no limit.
There's no limit. Usually they stay where they are within the club, right?
You have your own regimen. I want to be involved in 10 organizations. I want to be involved in one organization. It's really up to.
Do you have a lot of people that do that? And I mean, there are people that I meet that are in Rotarians and Lions, and they are so committed to it and so dedicated. I pale by comparison in my dedication. You must, like you are, but other people, some are that way.
Yeah, I tend to focus more on Lions Club.
Yeah. So. And men, women, young, old, doesn't matter. Cultures, they all cross.
18 years of age or older, men or women, as long as you either live or work in the community. Yeah. And by the way, we serve not only Livonia, but we serve Redford as well.
Good to know.
Okay, and the reason is that the Redford Lions Club disbanded a number of years back. So we filled the void, took on Redford. So we support the community of Redford just as we do the community of Livonia.
And I imagine that some people have like this much time to give, some people don't have as much time. Is there a required number of hours that you expect a Lion to volunteer?
No, there is not.
Okay.
In fact, kind of with the understanding of what we have, younger members are very, very busy.
Sure.
We try to put programs in place, opportunities in place, and then invite our members to participate.
What are some
those
of those
that can do, those that can't, don't.
what are some of those kind of programs? I mean, I've seen donation, drives. It can be items, it can be monetary. What kind of programs might you have?
Maybe we talk about it in terms of service organizations, things that we do to serve the community. For example, in Livonia, there's Seedlings Braille books for children.
Okay.
They manufacture and distribute Braille books.
Oh, wow.
We help Seedlings by raising funds for them and participate in their bowl-a-thon.
Okay.
Last year, we raised about $5,400 to help Seedlings with their Braille books. So every $10 raised, another Braille book is manufactured and distributed.
Cool.
Seedlings is a terrific organization, and last year donated almost half of their Braille books away.
Fantastic.
Okay, to kids, blind children who need the Braille books in order to
Boy, the families
progress.
must be really appreciative of that.
Sure, look at Methodist Children's Home. Now they're in Redford. These children are wards of the state, but they get good basic care from the state, but they don't get the perks that we give our children. The
We
field
take things
trips.
for granted, don't we?
Yeah.
I think that happens.
Field trips and things like that.
I think we
So we make a point to try and provide them with an opportunity to go to Ford Field or Greenfield Village or go bowling or go to the movies or go to the Spree, that kind of thing. And
Awesome.
that's the kind of things that we do. At Cook School, which is a school in Northville, that is a Wayne County RESA facility.
Okay.
The children that go there are multiple handicapped children that live in Redford, Livonia, and 8 other school districts in the area. So it's the focal point for their education. Every student that goes there gets individualized learning.
Wow.
Okay, and we provide support for that school in several forms, but one of the forms is a Christmas party for the children at Cook School, and it's just a terrific day, and the kids have a great time, lots of smiles, laughter, carrying on. We actually serve 600 meals, provide gifts for the children, arts and crafts,
so many ways to
music.
get involved.
And you've got some things you want to read too, some acknowledgments. We're going to take a break, and we'll come back with more Celebrate Michigans. When we do that, we'll talk to Matt Collins, and we'll have you read these acknowledgments, the specialness to us.